The following contains naughty language, cuckoldry, and disturbing images involving insectoid stuffed animals. Viewer discretion is advised. Poop. So, back in the day, when I used to live out in Seattle, I had an almost unnatural love of public transportation, so I'd ride the bus just about every day, whether I needed to or not. And every so often, there'd be an older Asian lady, sitting on the bus, and she'd just be talking in a not at all quiet voice about how much she hated Mexican folks. It was always just so surreal. That lady's got her own talk show now. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're coming at you not at all live from the Equality State, and today we're going to be taking a look at a PragerU video entitled A Nation of Immigrants. It is hosted by CRTV's Racist Asian Lady, or RAL for short. Take it away, RAL.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
Okay, hold it right there. Can we just take a moment to marvel at the truly Byzantine depths of cynicism and moral turpitude that it takes to position oneself as the alt-right's token Filipina? And make no mistake, that is all this lady is to these fascist fucks. Alright, let's fast forward through her opening rhetoric and get to the putrid meat, shall we?
These poetic lines, engraved on a bronze plaque beneath the Statue of Liberty, speak to who we are, a nation of immigrants. Until now. As Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer lamented, tears are running down the cheeks of the Statue of Liberty. We've turned our backs on those huddled masses, closed our borders, separated families, hardened our hearts. Or so you would think if you only read the headlines or watch TV news. Just one problem. It's not true.
The United States still maintains the most generous immigration policies in the world. Generous to a fault.
Okay, let's get this out of the way from the jump. The U.S. does not let in immigrants out of generosity, in the same way China does not run its dystopian suicide sweatshops on the milk of human kindness. We let in immigrants because we need them. We need them to keep our agricultural and manufacturing sectors competitive, and we need them to expand our consumer base. Because a quote-unquote free market economy needs to grow several percentage points per annum, lest it stagnate and die in its own filth. And you can't grow the economy without ultimately growing the population. Now bear in mind, I am no fan of capitalism. I just know how it works, which is apparently the polar opposite of PragerU's editorial staff.
Because the overwhelming numbers have stymied our ability to assimilate the huddled masses.
Right, Renaissance! Rare!
50 million residents of America are foreign-born.
Which is nowhere near enough because Econ 101.
In fact, today the United States has more immigrants as a percentage of its total population than at any time since 1890.
Well, the U.S. also presently has the lowest native fertility rate in its history right now. Stands at about 16 to 25% below replacement, depending on your source. And again, capitalism. You guys are into that shit, right?
To give one illustration, 176 different languages are spoken among students in the New York City school system.
176 languages? Jesus, that's awesome! That's a linguophile's wet dream, are you kidding me? Ich liebe Sprachen. Es verdad, me encantan los idiomas. Sí, par marcha! Putak! Seriously though, why is that a bad thing?
How did we get here? For starters, America grants permanent residence to 1 million people every single year.
Compared to 4 million live births a year, which together adds up to about a 1.5% annual boost in population. To put that in economic perspective, the baseline Federal Reserve interest rate currently stands at 2%. Inflation at 2.9%. If we want capitalism to stick around, and that's a big if in my book, we need more immigration, not less.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg because of something you've probably heard referred to as chain migration.
Which is a myth perpetuated by something you've probably heard referred to as chain emails.
Chain migration allows immigrants
Lie faster, please.
Sponsor not only their immediate family, parents, spouses, and children under age 21, but much of their extended family once they gain citizenship. Unmarried adult children, and any children they might have. Married adult children, and their children. And brothers and sisters, and their children. Princeton University researchers, using the most recently available data, found that immigrants sponsored an average of 3.45 additional relatives each.
So the 1 million immigrants granted permanent residence each year potentially adds, over time, another 3.5 million.
Potentially, not actually. Note the distinction.
In addition, an estimated 100,000 refugees and asylum seekers, people who claim to be fleeing political or personal strife abroad.
Claim? Bitch, they are. Strife is rife, and it's mostly our fault.
From 2008 to 2017, the U.S. gave green cards to well over 1 million people for humanitarian reasons, allowing them to live and work here permanently. After 5 years, they can apply for full citizenship.
Good.
We're not done yet.
Why not?
In that same time frame, nearly 500,000 more people came to America through the Diversity Visa Lottery, a program designed to admit more people from underrepresented countries into the U.S. Diversity visa applicants don't need a high school education, job skills, or pretty much anything.
All the other applicants do, though, and so-called diversity visas only account for about 5% of total visas issued annually, and who cares? They're people.
And thanks again to chain migration, spouses and unmarried children under 21 of visa lottery winners also get to come to America.
Again, bullshit. And horseshit. And moose shit. All the shit.
This nonstop flow of new legal immigrants, based on family ties instead of skills, abilities, and allegiance to American values, has of course been supplemented by millions who enter the country illegally and stay illegally. Dominant media outlets use the euphemism undocumented.
Lügenpresse! Sieg Heil! See, I told you I love languages. Seriously, though, are the neo-Nazis taking Asian folks now? Well, I guess they're desperate enough.
But the official U.S. government term, used in federal statutes, is illegal alien.
Time for a little segment I like to call etymological shenanigans. Today's word, alien, from the Latin root alias, meaning other.
Others!
In modern times, the word has evolved to mean either an inhuman creature from outer space, or a person from another country, or both, at the same time. This has been Etymological Shenanigans!
And though illegal aliens themselves don't qualify for welfare, they receive free health care in our clinics and hospitals.
Unless they pay their bills, which is not unheard of. Not even close.
And through their American-born children, they can expect to receive all manner of benefits, cash aid, food stamps, and housing vouchers.
Which is bad, I guess, if you're against families with children doing little things like living indoors and eating.
Their children are entitled to a free education in public schools.
I thought you wanted them to learn English. What gives?
Building a high-tech border barrier would certainly help stem this flow.
No, because ladders and ropes and planes and boats, and because most docks just overstayed their visas.
Ending chain migration is another obvious remedy.
To a problem which does not fucking exist. And, ironically, from both a capitalistic and humanistic perspective, would not be a problem if it did.
E-Verify, the national database that allows employers to check workers' immigration status, is also essential.
Except employers who hire undocumented immigrants would not use it, because why the fuck would they?
But all solutions will ultimately fail unless we get control of the numbers and enforce our laws consistently. It's Sovereignty 101. This is our home, and we have not only the right, but the responsibility to determine who comes in, how many come in, and what qualities and qualifications they bring.
Yes, there will be no room for the alien, no use for the wastrel, or anyone incapable of productive work. Which is a thing that Adolf Hitler totally said. Weird, huh?
The truth is, we let in millions, and of course, millions more want to come. Who can blame them?
You can, apparently.
But it's simply not possible or desirable to let in everyone.
Yes, it is, or nearly so, because economics and math... Why are you making me explain capitalism over and over and over again? I hate it, I hate it, I hate it!
And it's not hateful to say so. It's not hateful to protect our borders. It's not hateful to protect our citizens. It's not hateful to protect our values.
It is when your values are nakedly fascistic, bitch.
Lady Liberty may be shedding tears, not because we've stopped welcoming immigrants, but because our ill-conceived immigration policies are threatening the American dream.
Oldest rhetorical trick in the book. It's not the ultra-wealthy ruling class that's fucking you over, folks. It's the blacks and the browns and the reds and the greens and all those other non-people over there. They're the real problem. I mean, sure, they got it worse than you do mostly, and ultimately we're all in the same boat as working people, but it's their fault, goddammit, it's their fault! It's a cheap trick, but for some reason it keeps working. Alright, everybody. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. If you're not subbed, do it. Thank you. I appreciate your social labor, and go ahead and click that fucking bell if you ever want to see my face again. Do this or that. Whatever makes you happiest on the inside. Share it around if you can, if the sky won't fall down on your head like little old Chicken Little. And remember, folks, good faith and kindness are not finite resources. So please treat each other accordingly in the comments as in life. You guys give me hope. I want you to take care of yourselves now. Naughty language, cuckoldry, and disturbing images. And every so often, there'd be this older Asian lady on there. I don't know what kind she was. Shit, it's racist. Adam keeps texting me. I don't mind. I like him. Ears are all plugged up. Ich liebe sprechen, 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 sprechen. Ich liebe sprechen, ich liebe sprachen. Fuck. It's sprachen, not sprechen. That means I love to talk. Compared to 4 million live births a year. Yes, there will be no room for the fuck.